Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind the Paradigm. I'm just going to jump straight into the update. With Ben, we've been giving you guys the update that he's pretty much finished all the contracts. We did need to do some work to set up our royalty contracts still. And our royalty contracts, we want to make sure that we can, any royalties that do come in for an asset that is a collaboration asset, either with artists or with other communities. We have obviously some of that on our initial launch, but we're hoping to have a lot more of that after our initial launch, like capsule collections, fully collaborating with other artists and communities in our space. So we wanted to set up from the very start, having royalties properly being split for those types of collections. So that means that we are we're looking to use the 721C and 1155C contracts to be able to do that. And we are just doing a lot of testing, or starting to do testing and on our end, just because obviously they're not contracts that we've completely made from scratch, and we want to make sure they are going to work for exactly what we need, and that they're safe for our community to be using them. So that has been fun. We feel really great about those. Everything's going well. We just have some work to do to just do that integration and finish those smart contracts up with those 721C and 1155C ones. On the other side of dev stuff, on the front end, we've been working on our pose page. So I think I've told you guys a little bit about this last time, but I'm really excited about our pose page. I think it was something that was highly requested with Mechs, that people wanted, some different options in backgrounds or some different poses with their Mechs that could really bring them to life a bit more. So we've listened to that and we've implemented that for drifters. So it has this really amazing pose and background system that we are building right now. And instead of just something that's really basic, like you pick one thing and that's what it is and that's your only option, us always doing too much. So we have really fun options for folks too. Like you pick your initial plate, but then there are color options, then there are lighting effects, then there are overlay effects, like all of these fun things that really make your final asset look like a movie poster or like a CD cover, or just something that looks so cool that you want printed and to put on your wall or just show off in your wallet, versus just like a, plain PFP with a white background or something. So I'm super excited about that. It does take a lot of work because, as I think we've said before, we are doing custom names. So we'll have like the rolling mechanism, sort of similar to how we did with Mechs, but with totally new pot of names that people can pick free names from, or you can pay to upgrade to custom names that you input yourself. But that means also that the posing and the plates that we have, I'm calling them plates, but templates, I guess, that we have. We want you to be able to display your custom names on there. There could be names up to 32 characters or down to, only one. So we have to be able to code and develop like each and every plate with each and every font, what a 5-word name is going to look like versus a 1-letter name is going to look like, which sounds like it wouldn't be that hard if you can like mock it up in just some like Illustrator thing, but it's actually hard doing it live with totally custom names that you guys are making up that we can't really guess before they happen. So that is a fun challenge that we're just at the beginning of. We've designed, I'd say like 85% of like the plate designs are all done. We're finishing up some of the final designs. We've sent over the instructions for our 3D team to start making the poses, because the way that it kind of works, it's really fun. We'll have like a blender room with the camera set where it needs to be set, with the pose instructions sort of like in there of how your avatar needs to pose, and then the lighting also affecting it. So once you make your drifter and you decide all the pose and background and all of that, we take some time on the back end to render something super high quality. So you're not going to see it right away. There definitely is going to be a lag, but that's because we want the asset that's being spit out to be extremely high quality. And we just simply can't do that on the spot with assets that you guys are creating that there are billions of combinations for. So there will be some background time for that. I don't think it'll be a problem though. And I think with the outputs, you guys will be really happy with it, and we'll just keep improving it as we go. But anyways, the rooms that are getting set up with the poses and the lighting and the camera, we sent those over to our 3D team to begin work on those. So that is really fun. We've also started working with our animator to do some of our reveal sequence and a few little marketing things, which is going to be really exciting to actually like see our drifters and everything come to life in those animations. We're at the very start of that. And let's see, we have also just on our end been working on the terms, excuse me, the terms of service or terms of use for our assets, which is like not that exciting to talk about. And I talked about this last week, we've still been approving porting with a ton of assets. Like I've told you guys before, we have hundreds of assets to go through, and they have to fit and male and female, so it doubles it for everything. And so we're hand approving every single translation from male to female asset. So that is still underway. And we're still approving a lot of the textures that's underway. Then the last thing I'll mention is that we are tagging all of our assets and assigning rules and rarities. So we need rules on the front end for when you guys are selecting something, so that like a mustache cannot be worn with, a really tight face mask or something, or a beard, I should say, because the beard would totally stick through and just ruin like the artistic integrity of some of the pieces. Some things obviously we'll try to let slide that still look cool enough, even though if it's not how it was originally intended. I think I learned that a little bit from CyberBrokers. We were really strict with some of the rules of what can and can't go together if something was just slightly overlapping how we didn't want it to. But then some of those imperfections actually slipped through the cracks and made it into the final 10,001 collection. And actually they're kind of fun, and they've become some of people's favorite things. So I think we'll try to strike a good balance of not totally intersecting and just looking bad, something that like we wouldn't want to like market a random drifter. Like I just don't want to look bad, but we'll try to at least allow enough things through that some of the weird, funky issues that are still cool enough can slip through. So we're starting to tag everything with what can be worn with other things, but can't be worn with other things, and just assigning all of those rules. And then we'll have the developers actually implement all of those, so that when you're making your drifter assets, things will gray out, or not gray out. Things will either gray out if you've selected something else, or it'll say, if you want to move forward with this asset, it will remove some other asset. So yeah, that is the update. Thank you guys so much. Let us know if you have any questions below, and we'll answer them in the comments. Thanks, guys. Talk soon. Bye.